I like to subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This movie's called Restless. Spoiler, let's just get it. So we got this lieutenant named Thomas talking to this lady named Naomi. And it's a corruptness going on in the field. Then he talks to this lady named Agatha, who happens to be his sister. Apparently their mom just passed away, and they're at the mortuary. While he's driving there, he swerves off the road avoiding hitting his dog. Then something hits his windshield out of nowhere. Turns out it was a body. This guy's done deal dead as shit. Yeah. He talks to his daughter Joy, and she wants a toy. So at this point, you're thinking to yourself, he could have reported this body, but there's a cop car coming down the street. So he reacts by dragging the body off the street, but the cop car ends up going in a different direction. Lucky him, right? Meanwhile, Naomi and Mark are covering for Thomas for something. Thomas ends up putting the body in the trunk, but he can't cover his face, so he throws his suit jacket over it. But as he's driving, there's a police blockade up ahead. Meanwhile, these niggas trying to hide stuff for Thomas because Eternal Affairs is coming, and they gotta flush his stash of money. And then here comes Eternal Affairs. Meanwhile, police gotta search his trunk. He tries to let him know he's a lieutenant. The only problem is his badge is not on him. His badge is in his suit jacket. So while he's trying to correct himself and get out of this situation, he's trying to clear up everything with the chief, and he tells him he was headed to the hospital because of his mom's death, but the hospital's apparently in the other direction. He asks for the badge number, can't he get the badge number right? This cop notices the windshield broke. This cop's about to get the trunk. Thomas gets antsy. Then a fight breaks out, tear gas and everything. Next thing we know, his people's just flushing the money because they keep it real, they keep it street. After the fight calms out, I don't know how they actually found out he was a lieutenant, especially considering his badge in the trunk of the suit jacket, but somehow they cleared up the misunderstanding and he let him move on. Now, Eternal Affairs is talking to the commander of the office. Apparently, she got a tip that drugs was being shipped off, and she thinks that has something to do with crooked cops in this station. So that's why Thomas was getting money flushed. Were they really in on this operation? Are there more crooked cops here in the business? So apparently she gives us some documentation about police officers, but they don't show us who's on the tape. Meanwhile, Thomas gets his suit jackets out of the car, and he goes to visit his daughter Joy. Joy's playing with this little toy soldier. This will come up in a minute. He meets up with his sister Agatha. Agatha gives him a cross so his mom could be buried with it. She always wanted it for some reason. He ends up borrowing the toy soldier. Why? You'll see in a minute. Meanwhile, Eternal Affairs find liquor at the office. What's the meaning of this? They said they were drinking it was a one-time thing off the strip of Thomas's mom passing away. But they're like, alright, whatever. And then Mark tells him where Thomas is at. Meanwhile, Thomas goes visit his mom. Then Mark texts him, Eternal Affairs is coming for you. So while they're putting the final nail in the coffin, so to speak, Thomas ends up leaving out the room for a second, surveying the territory. And I swear, this part you're not even going to believe after I even tell you. Y'all ready for this? Alright, here we go. Thomas is wrapping the body up. Just the toy soldier attaches the rope to his leg. Throws the toy soldier first and the body in there into the vent. Then he goes to the store to get some balloons. Now apparently he told the Undertaker the balloons were there for his kid. And they're about to close up, but Thomas gives him a little extra money and tells him he can stay till 10 o'clock. 15 more minutes. So this is what he does. After the Undertaker leaves out the room, he lets go of the balloons so they can get in the way and block the security camera's vision. Then he locks the door, goes over to the vent, pulls out the remote control. When he finally gets it to work, the toy soldier starts walking towards him, but not without making some noise, which alerts this lady on break to go investigate. So basically his time is limited. Meanwhile, the lady calls security to try to figure out what's up. She can't get through the door. The thing is, security can't move nowhere, but he's going to get the boss to check in on door 1. Because he can't see nothing because the balloon's in the way. So his plan was to get the toy soldier close enough so he could pull it, so he could get the body and put it in his mom's casket. That is fucking crazy. And of course he does all this in time for the Undertaker to come back, so of course he does. The crazy thing was, before the Undertaker came in there, after he buried the dude, his phone kept going off. You're like, what the fuck? But it didn't go off anymore after the Undertaker got in there, huh? Surprise, surprise, right? And then the funeral. Why are they all walking? And you got the driver right here by himself with the casket. That shit's crazy. Then we had the burial, done deal, that's it. So you thinking to yourself, he's off the hook, right? Boy. Next thing you know, he's back at the job and he hears a police siren. Police get out to go do something. And then this motherfucker goes full speed and runs into the police car. Like, are you why? Look at their faces. They wonder, like, what in all of the fuck is this? So he explains to them he's a lieutenant. I guess everything's all good, right? So apparently he did all this so insurance could fix his car up brand new. So it wouldn't time into anything that happened that night. Guess that's kind of smart, right? So just when you think he's out of the clear, here comes a problem. So now they get back to the office, and they got a new case to close. This guy named Manu, he's supposed to be involved in trafficking and drug dealing. The problem is, this guy's already dead because Thomas ran him over the other night. That's right, that's the guy that he stuffed in the trunk. And to make matters worse, he's buried with his own mother. You can't make this shit up. What in all of the fuck? So now they gotta go to the spot where he was last seen. Thomas gotta act like he looking and shit. Then he ends up seeing the dog again. I guess it was Manu's dog. Who knows? He's just lurking around this area. So the dog's trying to lure him somewhere. He ends up following the dog, and it takes him to a familiar building. In fact, it takes him back to the street where it all took place. Then this cop comes out of nowhere, collecting evidence. This fucker didn't even put no gloves on. So the cop tells him apparently some reckless man ran over somebody, put up his body in the trunk. So wait a minute, that must have been the cop that turned off at that intersection when Thomas hit the dude. Or maybe not, because he would have stopped him, right? But apparently Thomas didn't recognize one thing. There's surveillance cameras over at this spot. That face tells it all right there. Later on, Thomas, Mark, and the cop go through the camera footage. Mark looks at it again. He sees a car that stops a little bit, and it's a BMW. So you're thinking to yourself, Thomas is fucked, right? The thing is, they can't make out the license plates. So for right now, you still got luck on your side, sir. Then he gets back home to Agatha. She's talking about her mom had a lover or something like that. She's trying to move into her spot. He's like, all right, man, just do whatever you want. Goes back to office, chilling at target practice. All of a sudden, he gets a phone call. Some mysterious man calls him, and he knows everything he did. He knows he ran Manu over. He knows he put him in the back of the trunk, but he doesn't know where his body is. But he knows his name is Thomas. He knows a lot of information. So Thomas is freaked out. He's like, who the heck am I talking to? Of course, he ain't giving him no names. He hung up the phone. He had enough. But then the same guy calls his partner, Naomi. Yeah, whoever you're dealing with, this nigga got connections. So he goes out to the parking lot to talk to him, and then he hangs up. All of a sudden, the car comes out of nowhere. The dude acts like he's trying to run him over. You know, he sees a black car. All he gets is a license plate, but you can't see nothing inside of it. Then the dude waves a hand out the window. He's just toying with him. Who is this man? We can't see his face. It's all blurred. He tried to chase him. All of a sudden, Mark blocks him in. They're like a fat version of Sami Zayn. Yeah, that wrestler from WWE. Anyway, he goes back in the car. The guy talks to him again. He says, look, man, I need you to bring me Manu's body. Plain and simple. So he tries to get camera footage of what happened to the parking lot, and he ignores that dude's calls. Then the dude comes up to the police station. Who is this guy? It just smacks the shit out of him. This guy's got balls. He just goes to the police station and starts beating the shit out of Thomas. So why does he have the balls to do that? Apparently he thought he was a robber. That's what he tells them anyway. But then we find out this dude's named Morelli. Commissioner Morelli. He's like the head of narcotics. He tells him he's gotta go to the bathroom. And then Thomas goes to the bathroom too. Apparently the police chief knows Morelli. They go way back. He's like, basically, we can't do shit to him. Nothing. So you're thinking to yourselves, why not? Apparently Morelli does a lot of favors for cops, including this department, because he was the one that got internal affairs off their back. Morelli and Thomas in the bathroom. He's like, look, man, I need Manu's body. Tommy refuses. They got the beef and he whipped Tommy's ass. He's like, look here, you're gonna bring me that body at a certain time and that's that. So later on that night, he goes to the grave, gets the body, but then he checks the body and finds out he had 2 shots to the back. So this dude was already dead before he hit him on the road. So apparently somebody chucked him out there on purpose. Afterwards, he goes back to Manu's hideaway. He checks through some drawers and finds an envelope. This envelope contains some safe service card and a picture of Manu and his dog. So he takes the envelope and dips out. Then Manu's phone rings again. He actually picks it up. There's some guy on the other line. He's like, man, I done called like 20 times. I thought Morelli knocked you off or something. Basically giving up too much information without Thomas responding. So now he's about to find this dude. He calls Naomi, he gets the information on this dude. He gets the information to load down everything, so he knows exactly where he's at. While Naomi's going through all that, she's got all this other information and paperwork that Mark's about to help her out with. So he goes through one bit of information, looks like a speeding ticket or something like that. You know, speeding tickets got camera flashes. And there's one picture in the same area, it's got Thomas's face on it, license plate, everything. Mark started to put 2 and 2 together, oh shit. Meanwhile, Thomas finds this guy just chilling at the laundromat. Anybody get some answers to his questions. So after torturing this dude, he finds out why Morelli wants this dude so bad. Turns out Morelli and Manu were actually working with each other. Some of the narcotics Morelli was supposed to throw away, he was stashing to give to Manu. They were mixing it in drinks and selling it at parties. Making extra money on the side, so crooked cop shit. Morelli had businesses booming. The problem is, it got to a point where Manu was selling drugs behind Morelli's back to some Albanian customers. He found them and started lacing niggas, shotgun pumping niggas. The problem was Morelli couldn't find the drugs, they disappeared. So why does Morelli want Manu so bad? Well, it turns out he has a certain key to a vault. So for a way that nobody get the key, he ended up swallowing it whole. And that's why Morelli needs to find Manu's body. So Thomas goes back to Manu's body to cut out the key. As soon as he gets in, Mark pops up out of nowhere and tells him to put his hands up behind your head. He takes him in, but because they're boys, he's not going to arrest him. Takes him to a certain spot and lets him go because he needs to be there for his daughter. Mark says he's done with this shit. He's done with the force, done with everything. Right when that's going on, Thomas gets a call from Morelli. But before he gets out the car, he ends up giving Mark the key. Morelli tells him to get out the car and move away from it so he can talk to him. Next thing you know, a motherfucking cargo crate crushes the car. Oh shit! Yeah, Morelli is not playing around. Your friend is done deal dead as shit. But now I'm thinking to myself, since he gave the key back to Mark, is the key destroyed too? So Morelli still wants Manu's body, but the thing is he doesn't know the key is outside of it. But while Thomas is talking to him, Morelli is actually at his sister's house, watching his daughter like, oh shit. Of course, when Thomas finally gets there, he's gone. So he gets both of them to take a trip. They go to a vacation. And he's got to go handle the beef once and for all. But before he goes there, he goes back to the cop spot and gets some C4 explosives. And then he finally meets up with Morelli. So he brings the body over to him. Now, if you notice, look at that trunk. Don't there like some titanium steel right there? So if he's trying to blow this nigga up with C4, I don't think it's going to work. He takes his gun out, it's probably like, hey, we agreed no guns. He checks him for everything, but the only thing he finds is keys. Then he checks the body, which he assumes is the key, but we all know is C4 in that bitch. That's actually pretty smart on Thomas's part. His car key actually had the trigger button on there to set off the detonator. Then he tried to shoot Thomas with his own gun, but Thomas ain't stupid, he had blanks in there. Then he pulls out the pump like, alright, for real? He's like, check this out, if I die, all your information goes out too. Everything about you will be in the press and the public. So he thinks twice before making that decision. Next thing you know, he drives away. And you already know what time it is. Cash explosion! And of course, this motherfucker's still alive. What I say about that titanium back seat. Then he comes out all certifiably gangster, coat all heated up, but he takes that shit off like fuck it. Morelli's had enough of you. He got his gun back, he was able to put one real bullet in there. And what happened? Did they both get done deal dead and shit? Nope, just Morelli. Thomas ends up getting arrested and getting put back in a squad car. They had to make it look like they arrested him because they got charges. Bottom line's gonna get swept under the rug. But Thomas gotta leave the force. Later on, Thomas meets up with Naomi, and Thomas gave all his insurance money, everything to Mark's wife. Or at least semi-reconciliation and whatnot. But Naomi does one more thing for Thomas. She ended up recovering the key that was in Mark's car, and she lets Thomas have it. Next day we see you go to this underground fortress-like area. He puts the key in, but he's gotta put in a code. So what's the code? That's when he digs through the envelope he has. He pulls the Secret Service card off and looks at the boat. The boat has a number on it. So he types in the number on the boat, and that's actually the combination. And he's looking at a shit ton of money. Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger bag than that, sir. And he's basically set for life. There you go. Restless on Netflix. Check it out. Like, subscribe, do all that. You know what time to look these out easy, miss. Big. You got a slogan.